Where the problem is, I'm sure it'll be fixed by 10 o'clock this morning. There you go. John Brennan already sent me an email and said he heard the complaint and he was already on it. So there, that's it. I don't know. I'm a big guy. I don't know if you noticed.
Mm-hmm.
And I travel by airplane, and I usually fly first class. One, because I feel like I've earned it, and two, because it is way more comfortable for a guy my size. The other thing is the convenience that goes along with flying first class, not having to wait in line, being able to have a heavy bag, getting on first, getting off first. I appreciate that when I'm traveling. So that is what I do for a living. But I mean, what I do for flying, but I don't really travel a lot. 4 or 5 times a year, maybe. That's where I'm going. Like I have a couple of trips lined up. I have a trip to LA in May, which I think will be my first flying trip anywhere. And I will no doubt fly first class for that. And it stinks because I'm not the kind of guy who I wish I was. I'm not condemning the people who do this, but the people who fly parents in first class and kids in coach. I can't do that. My buddy Paulie just did that. He went to LA and he put the kids in coach, and I go, how do you do? He goes, I'm putting it back there. I go, you go back there. I go, that's good. I wish I had the nuts to do that, because people get really mad when Juliana is sitting when she was like 4 and sitting in a first class seat. People just shake their head as I walk by. I'm like, what am I supposed to do? Leave her in the back alone?
Right.
You're not flying on a 737, are you?
What's a 737?
The plane, the 737.
Well, are you jumping ahead of my whole story here?
Shut your
Just
mouth.
walk in whenever you want. Walk in the middle of the thing.
I'm sorry.
So the reason I'm bringing this up is because a lot of times when I would fly coach, I would try to get the extra legroom seats, and they would always be in the exit aisle. And they would say, if you're not prepared to do the exit thing, you have to leave it. And I said, I'm not doing it. I don't want to be responsible. Also, I can't comfortably lay on a door that may open during flight. And I was like, I'm not doing it. So I never, ever stay in the exit row. The only flight that I take is Southwest that doesn't have a first class. And even then, I will not take the exit row because I don't want to get sucked out of the plane if something happens. Or even worse, I don't want to get stuck into the doorway, right? The door flies open, it sucks me out, but I'm too fat to get through the hole. So now I'm just sticking in the thing and it's pulling the skin off my back and all that. I don't want to do it.
But you're a hero if that happens.
No, because I clogged the hole?
Yeah, they're like, oh my God.
So I thought about this. If I was up on a plane and they were like, we have to lighten the load, and they looked at me and said, sir, you're the fattest guy on the plane. Sacrifice yourself for the plane. I'd go, all right, help me to the door. And then I would take 2 skinny guys and throw them out and go, even Steven. And why are your 2 lives more important than mine? I would just push them out of the plane and be like, now I'm staying.
The worst case scenario is you get sucked in the door like Winnie the Pooh in the honey tree.
Yeah.
And you're like hanging halfway out.
Yeah. Which is fine if most of me is inside and my ass is outside.
Yeah.
So because I'm so scared, I'm crapping my whole way down anyway. But also everybody's happy. Like, hey, fatty, plug the door.
Yep.
You know.
But you get stuck and then the pressure rips your clothes off. So now you're naked.
My big ass just hanging out the door. I don't like it. But in all honesty, that is the real truth. I never, ever sit at the exit row because I don't want to be near the door. And during this flight, that was an Alaskan Air, the door ripped off while they were in flight. Now, I don't know if you saw this, but about a half hour ago, there was a breaking news alert that came through and said that flight was already under restriction and it flew anyway. And now they're grounding a lot of these flights. My wife's friend is supposed to come here this weekend, and she thinks she may not get out because one of the United flights that were supposed to come here may get grounded, and they may start canceling all the flights.
I saw a couple stories about that. It was already restricted.
Yeah.
That I don't know what to believe anymore with stuff on the internet, because the first story that I read said that it wasn't restricted, that somebody got up and popped it inside the flight, and then every story after that said the flight was restricted and they had issues. 737s have had that issue with the exit doors.
Well, they grounded a bunch of 737s, and people traveling today, there are flights canceled. They just showed it on Fox News, canceled out of Tampa. So if you're traveling, although I got to tell you, most people who have to get up and travel, they don't want to travel anywhere. This is probably more of a convenience.
Right. And if you have a good excuse like that, where you're like, oh yeah, sorry, I can't make the stupid convention because the plane won't go.
Have you seen the people putting the little gremlin from the old William Shatner
on the wing.
Yeah, and people are CGI putting it on the wing.
Mm.
People have video of the thing when it popped open. It was great.
I don't know where it is, but I did get a Fox News alert from a little while ago that said that it was. Turns out that plane was restricted and it flew anyway. Who's letting it fly if it was restricted?
I mean, I imagine the pilot has a lot to do with that because I would imagine the end all be all of if they're going to fly with any of their planes.
So this says if you flew over the weekend, you may have seen long lines of customer service because FAA grounded more than 100 Boeing 737 MAX planes after a hole broke open in midair. On Friday, Alaska Airlines returned from Portland, Oregon soon after takeoff after a big piece of the side of the plane broke off, creating a refrigerator-sized hole. Technically, this was the mid-cabin door plug, an optional emergency exit that can be added, but this plane has permanently plugged so that it looked like a normal side panel with the window, but that's apparently what failed. So in response, FAA forced airlines to ground Boeing 737 MAX 9 aircrafts for additional inspection. They say this was precautionary and worth pointing out that these days that these are the same planes that were in the news 5 years ago.
You never know how old that bucket of bolts is when you get on it. You never know what kind of plane you have. Although I'm not like I see some people online. They're like, oh, that's the Boeing 737-A2 coming out of Atlanta. I don't know how they know all these things. Like weird plane nerds say understand everything. I never know the difference between a flight. The only time I've ever looked at a flight beforehand to look at the cabin and all that was when I was flying overseas because I wanted to see how comfortable I would be or whatever. But I never pay attention to any of that stuff.
Do you think is the airline liable at all for that? Like, can I say I was
if
traumatized?
It was grounded?
Yeah.
If it was grounded and it flew anyway, or if it was under inspection, they let it fly. Oh my God!
There's going to be a major lawsuit at that point, right? Yeah. Negligence.
Somebody probably signed something in your ticket.
That's what I'm thinking.
Somebody, I want to say it was Matt Rife. Somebody was on a podcast talking about how they tell you to put your head down and put your head between your legs when you're on a crash. And they say that so if you smash against the seat in front of you, your neck breaks quick and you die easy.
Oh damn!
Yeah, because
I think that was Brad Pitt in Fight Club.
Yeah.
Did he say that?
Yeah.
If you survive a plane crash, the lawsuits are ridiculous and it bankrupts airlines. So they want you if you're going down just to die on your way down. Yeah. Somebody was saying that on a podcast recently. I want to say it was Matt Rife, like on Tom Segura's podcast or something. But I don't know. I'm sure it was a joke, but it's something to think about. I mean, we heard from Artemis Pyle when he told us about the Leonard Skinner plane going down. I asked him, I said, what was the cause of death? Like, were you smashed into, they hit the trees, which brought the plane down. And he said equipment from the back flew out from the back and the front and hit Ronnie in the head and killed him. That's how he died.
Blunt force trauma.
Right. Yeah. Well, that makes sense to put your head down in case anything from behind. Although the worst thing I could think of is that movie where they have to eat each other alive. And when they crashed, all the seats piled up together and that one woman was stuck crushed in the seat. Oh my God.
Happy flying, everybody.
Soon.
Yeah. Have you seen the conspiracy theories about the plane?
Oh, here we go.
Well, I'm not sure I believe a lot of this, but they're saying that you're going to see a lot more of this because they don't want people to fly and travel anymore. They want people to start to get used to staying in their cities.
That ain't stopping me. That makes me the most. If a plane crashed today, the best time to fly is right after.
That's what I said. I was like, that's kind of dumb.
That doesn't make sense. Yeah. Ron Rivera, the Commanders' head coach, has been fired after his 4-13 season.
The Riverboat
Gambler. Adam Schefter. Also, the Atlanta Falcons fired their coach as well.
Yeah. Did you see what happened at the end of that game?
Yeah. They did victory formation and then scored a touchdown. He's like, that's BS.
Yeah.
But do you know why?
Yeah.
Because the guy had hit a bonus.
Yeah. Well, I think so. Yeah. So they told Jameis was in at quarterback at the time, and he said that the whole team decided to go against what the coach wanted and just go for it.
I think he was getting fired anyway. They're like, just go for it.
Because they just picked the ball off on the 1 yard line for an interception. That's how they got the ball right there.
Right.
And instead of taking victory formation, they act like they were, and then they just dove into the end zone.
Yeah, but they need somebody they needed for a bonus, for $1 million bonus or something. So, you got to take care of your teammates, especially when you know the coach ain't gonna be around next year.
But then the Atlanta coach came. Are you crazy? That's some effing BS. No,
I saw it on the field. You don't yell at the other coach. He didn't call it.
Jeez, come on. So another 8 points. You already lose by 40 points.
Yeah,
and you got fired. Good luck.
So he's gone. Belichick's out.
Well, they don't know yet.
Rivera's out.
I think-
Belichick's out.
So there's supposed to be a press conference today. I think he's going to say he's retiring.
I was going to say, I don't think he goes anywhere
Yeah.
else. I think he just retires.
Because
If there was somewhere that had potential, like that he would help out,
Yeah,
it would make sense.
I
Really?
read that Belichick's supposed to be speaking at a press conference today.
Yeah, Carmen. Like if they said, look, we got like Tony Dungy when they had Peyton Manning at the Colts, he's like, all right, that could be a
He's
potential
old, he's
winner.
rich. Why? What's the point?
Because you can't
He
give it up
loves
once you retire, you die.
yeah, just like what's his name from Penn?
Oh, Joe Paterno.
Joe
Paterno,
Paterno,
yeah.
minute he retired.
Yeah. I think the Sandusky thing played a role
Ooh,
too.
yeah.
Maybe.
I think he had to
Might-
go.
might have something to do with it.
It seemed like a bit of a stressful situation.
Do you think Paterno knew?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You do,
They knew he knew.
Everybody
They had proof that
Yeah.
he knew.
but you think he knew, or you think he just knew that guy was weird and gay?
No,
he
I
knew.
think
He just turned a blind eye.
yeah.
To a guy molesting kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's insane to me.
It was horseplay.
Yeah.
That's insane to me. I don't care how good of a
Rhythmic
coach.
slapping.
But
Oh.
but
Remember that?
it's not that insane if you think about like if Paterno never actually saw it happen and he was just hearing people say it. It's much easier for you to for Joe Paterno to go, oh yeah, it's probably not real.
Right,
Right.
right. And then you go, that's Sandusky.
Yeah.
And then you just make sure that you're never around.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
never
Correct.
He never put himself in the situation to find it.
Yeah.
He was like, there's rumors, but I don't care.
These-
He's good at his job. I'm
Yeah.
just gonna if he's in the locker room, I won't go in the locker
This
room.
is what
How
Carmen's
good
going to
was
be.
he?
Yeah.
And these coaches don't want to do anything that's going to affect the program.
Right.
This is Carmen turning a blind eye at Chad now that he's the defensive coordinator.
No,
Yeah.
All right.
that is not true.
Chatty Daddy.
I would never.
Oh, I saw he's not Chatty Daddy on
Yeah, I know.
social media
He
anymore.
Is he
changed it.
Coach
I
Chad?
was-
Yeah.
Yeah, Coach Wood.
I saw
OC.
something Coach Wood in my feed. I'm like, who the hell is
Well,
this?
that's what it used to be
Yeah.
when he was a coach at the other high schools and stuff like that.
I
And
guess he
then
doesn't need us anymore.
Obviously, he changed it. I told him to just keep it, but obviously, he was like, "That's pretty inappropriate." For
It's
high
not so
school."
appropriate. It's silly, but it's not inappropriate.
Yeah, but
That's
I mean,
what I thought. The kids would have thought it would be hilarious, but again, I think they're real because they're starting from
But-
scratch and it's a whole new program. They really want to.
if I'm a kid's parent, I find out the new coach is Chatty Daddy.
yeah,
I'm like, what's
Oh,
this?
rhythmic slapping Chatty
Yeah,
Daddy.
what's
Yeah.
this Chatty Daddy guy that is the new offensive coordinator?
By the way, did you see the boudoir pics he took?
Yeah.
Oh! Listen, you can't fault the guy for being a model.
yeah.
If they look at those pictures and the guy had abs like that, they'd be like, yeah, I get
Yeah.
it.
And we didn't post anything that was like too
Oh.
of him.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like he has his shirt off, but he has his shirt off when he goes to the beach. Like there's
Yeah.
nothing of him that was
No.
I like the one picture that you guys titled "Touchdown."
no, no.
I like the one you took in Wawa under the pizza sign.
Not me.
Are you sure?
Me.
Yeah.
Calvin, I'm going to be honest, okay? I put up the video of my desk.
Uh-huh.
I put it on Instagram, a tour of my desk. You said it's so dirty and messy.
Yeah, I noticed you did it in stories so they can leave comments for everybody to see.
Yeah.
Oh, I could move it.
Yeah. What do you got?
I'll put it up on Facebook so they could leave comments there. I only got one comment, and it said that it was nice and neat. So
Who
it's
said
there.
that?
One
Love
Ray
Tiger?
Charles.
No.
Ray Charles.
Well, I'm just saying, it's only one person, so feel free to comment more if you like.
Most people don't comment in stories.
Right.
Okay, where you want? I'm putting it on the thing.
Yeah.
Stand by.
Yeah.
Putting it up in reels.
Ricky Baker.
Ricky Baker. Ricky Baker. All right, I'm putting it up in reels. Okay. Comment away.
For real.
35-second desk tour. All right, hold on. There you go. The 35-second desk tour. You want to write dirty or not?
Sure.
Okay.
Knock yourself out.
Dirty or well, I want you to be happy so that
Oh.
nobody can
Oh,
complain
I'm happy.
and say, "Well, you didn't do this, you didn't do that."
This is Gene Simmons and Paul Stanley.
I was just wondering what your desk looked like.
I just noticed you didn't do this.
All right, it's up.
All right.
It's up.
Let's
Go
see
look
how
under
we do.
reels. It's way more reliable than the Bone app for any contesting. Thank you very much. The 35-second desk tour, dirty or not.
Now the people will have their say.
Listen, I did it as fair and balanced as possible. When we come back from break, we're making our first round of death pool picks.
Oh.
Wait, what?
And
Yeah.
my question to you is, have you been paid for the death pool?
I have not.
Oh my god.
Tony Burton
Out.
completely
I
out of
mean,
the death
That's
pool.
do we have to go chase after the money? Is that
No,
how it
you
works?
shouldn't have to.
No,
No,
you didn't have to chase Joe.
No.
You shouldn't have to chase
Yeah.
anybody
Yeah.
else.
I mean, I
Well,
kind of
well
had to chase Joe.
No, you
yeah.
It was,
No,
it was a
you
brisk
didn't.
walk after.
We
it.
had to set up a payment plan.
That's not even true.
100%.
That's not even true.
Did you
All
not pay me in 2 installments?
Yes, I did.
He
The
put a
second-
down payment
Yeah.
and then a promise that it would be
And-
paid next week.
And he would not. No. We went to an ATM at the last bar at the pub crawl, and I said, "Look, here's an ATM. I'm going to give you your second installment." He would not allow me to do it. He fought me away from the ATM.
And then I
Sounds
took
like
a picture of
the,
you making
Yeah.
the final payment.
That's right.
At the time, I was feeling festive. I was like, Joe, this ATM is going to ding you for like $10 in fees. Just wait.
Well, that's
What
not
a
what you
nice
said.
guy.
Yeah, that's
That's
very
not-
festive of you.
That's not what you said. You said, "No, I'd rather give you S about it when you don't pay me." That's
That
what you
sounds like
actually
Leo.
said.
Wow.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
All I
okay.
know is you paid me in 2 installments.
Yeah,
Payment plan.
paid in full.
Scumbag.
Paid in full.
We're doing
That-
3 celebrity death pool picks when we come back from break. It's the Mike Calta Show. This is 102.5 The Bone.
It's the Mike Calta.
Real estate, you can receive an all cash offer and move when you're ready. No showings, no open houses, and no stress. Call 855-299-SOLD or go to markspain.com and start packing.
Now, back to Real Raw Radio. Sponsored by Anajar and Levine, accident attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733. We now return to Tampa Bay's #1 morning show,